Gage Mines, Mika Frankl. We brought Aaron Taylor into the office to talk about Fight Night 4. It's coming up November 30th, a Friday night fight. Frescas Productions presenting at Isleta Casino. We have the amateur flyweight here. How you doing, sir?
Feeling good, man. Ready to get going and can't wait. I'm really anticipating this fight. I know this kid's going to be a little scrapper, come out with me, and I'm ready to put out and bang for the last fight of the year, you know.
Last time we saw you in the cage, that was a hard-fought one there at Isleta. The last time we saw you here locally against Tabari Grubbs. How bad was it after the fight? I saw you. That was a pretty bad scene backstage.
Yeah, he caught me with an illegal elbow or hit behind the head that kind of shook me up a little bit, kind of rocked me a little. So, towards the end, I felt a little nauseous, but that's about it. Towards the end of the night, I was good. I was back with my family and friends within 10-15 minutes, but besides that, I was a little nauseous after.
Yeah, that looked like a little bit of a rough one when I saw you backstage with the biggest ice pack I think I've ever seen.
I don't remember that. But if it was, then hey.
And now, what have you done to improve, to evolve since that time? I know you've even had another fight up in Colorado.
Yeah, I just fought for King of the Cage in Ignacio, Colorado. Fought I think he was a state runner-up wrestler, Golden Gloves boxer, and ended up walking out with a unanimous decision, dominated all 3 rounds, you know. And from then to now, from the Tabari fight to now, I just evolved a lot more. Like, I'm starting to mix in a lot of everything. My striking for sure is starting to come a lot, and I guarantee you guys are going to see that this fight.
Really? Tell us about it. Where do you feel you've taken those steps in the striking? Tell us about it a little bit.
Oh, just positioning and footwork, movement, you know, and not keeping the head on the center line and just being real technical with the game. And there's no better place to learn it from Coach Gene and Coach Derek Perez out in Belen.
So has it been a lot of one-on-one work to do that, or?
Oh, well, definitely. I mean, I get a lot of one-on-one work with Derek Perez and Gene, but it's more just from the classes that they teach. You know, we work on a lot of basics, and that's where we got to master is the basics to add more arsenal to your tools, you know what I mean? And I think that's where it all happens.
And then we've even heard you went down to Fit and HB, had some real-life sparring, and focused on that striking element. What was that like, really getting in there and mixing up with some rounds with guys from other gyms? Because I know you spar against your teammates, you kind of get used to some stuff. What was that like?
Hey, man, it's always good when you got to get out of your comfort zone, you know what I mean? And that's where it all starts. And yeah, I had a boxing live sparring match, and it went good, man. I fought someone that was real heavier than me, taller than me, and I rocked him a little bit. He rocked me a little bit. It was a good night. And with all the other guys that I work with, I actually go to Power Plant of Albuquerque. There's straight boxing over there too, and I go get a lot of work in with those guys too in the mornings for my strength and conditioning, and work some boxing. So you're gonna see a different Aaron Taylor. I'm not saying it's going to be a completely different Aaron Taylor, but you're going to see some new tools that I got added to my toolbox.
So you've taken really diligently adding to the striking element, because we've seen with your Valley Wrestling base that you had a good base there on the ground, but you needed to do something with that striking, right?
Right. Yeah, I got a good wrestling base, good ground base, but I want to be known as a well-rounded fighter. You know, you got to be, especially for every fight, you got to come well-rounded. You got to work in all aspects of the game. So I know I'm going to be prepared for this fight.
And now this fight coming up, taking on Cole Griego. Man, he can kick. What are you expecting out of this one?
Hey, you know what? I'm ready for a scrap. I know he's going to come out swinging, and that's what I want. You know, it's going to be a little war, and I'm sure it's his first time coming down to 125. He's fought at 135. I'm not sure what he walks around at, so it might pay a little dividend in the fight game. We'll see. But I'm not really counting on that. What I'm counting on is what I do and all the hard work that I put in, because I know I put in a lot of time for this fight. So I'm ready. I'm ready for fireworks, and I hope everybody comes out and checks that out.
How much investigating into who Cole is and how he fights have you done for this?
To tell you the truth, I haven't really done. I've heard of him before. I've seen he's actually fought one of my past opponents in Anthony Chavez, I guess, in his most recent fight. but that's pretty much about it. You know, I don't really like to go too much into looking them up, you know, because I know how Derek and Gene prepared me. We're going to be ready for everything. Ground, stand up, wherever it goes, we're going to be ready for it.
A crazy weekend in what it's going to be. You kick it off for Perez Fighting Systems. There's 3 events in 3 days. We got MMA, boxing, MMA, and on that last night, heard the tables are going to be turned.
Yep.
You've got 2 coaches and a teammate on the card, and you're going to be in a different position. Tell us about what's going to happen in King of the Cage Starbound II.
You know what? We got my both coaches, man. Those guys are crazy as heck, man. Always getting in there, always ready to scrap. You know, God bless them because they bring the best side out of me. But like you said, I'm going to be in a different position. I'm going to be cornering. Me and Mateo Cadornil are going to be cornering. It's going to be like my 4th time cornering. I cornered them one time in Hobbs for a boxing fight. That was kind of cool, you know. So this kind of led up to this. So I can't wait, man. Those guys are ready, man. Those guys put in so much work. Kane, he's going to stay up Sterling Peak. He's going to put in some fireworks. Everybody is, you know. We're going to set it off Friday and end it Sunday.
So what does that do? What have you thought of that? Or have you even thought about it? You're like, man, I haven't thought about him cornering them. I fight 2 days before. I have that on my mind. Is that where you've been at?
Yeah, you know, when it comes, we'll just get ready for that. You know, I got a tough opponent ahead of me. I know he's gonna be strong, and I just gotta keep my mindset on my fight. You know, and once that time comes on Saturday, we'll switch up the mindset and go to cornering and try to help pump up my guys. You know, because I know there's gonna have some fireworks that night.
So what's some keys for you at Fight Night 4 to getting the victory?
You know what? Just coming in ready. You know, it's 90% mental. You know, you got to come in there strong, come in there ready, knowing you're gonna win, and I'm ready, man. All the work that I put in, I guarantee you, there's nobody in the amateur side that puts in as much work as me right now. Mornings, nights, whatever. I'm mixing it in with different opponents, different people, you know, teammates all over. Everybody's willing to work with me, and I can't wait to set it off.
And that's something totally off topic of everything we were talking about. The UFC recently traded Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson over to one championship.
Right.
We've heard about the potential demise of the flyweight division. What are your thoughts coming out as an amateur, as a flyweight?
Hey, you know, us flyweights fly together, you know what I'm saying? We all stick together, and I know UFC is that top platform that everybody wants to get, and I think it's going to kind of bite them in the ass in the long run, you know, but there's other organizations out there willing to take us, and we're willing to all show all aspects of the fighting game, and I'm sure there's other other organizations willing to take us.
So kind of their loss, you think? They don't understand the kind of fighters they're losing, right? That's what a lot of us feel like, right?
Hey, there's some badasses, man, and there's some up-and-coming fighters that just got in the mix, especially coming out of here, you know. There's a couple of fighters, and one of my buddies, Joby, and then Jordan Espinosa, you know, those guys are on the Contender Series. They're just starting to get back into it, so it's kind of upsetting to see that opportunity like that could kind of, like, derail them, you know.
Exactly. No, that's the one thing that made me furious about it. Not just watching guys like Jared Brooks and Jose Shorty Torres announce on social media that they were being released, but having to think about the ridiculous amount of 125-pound fights that we have here on the local scene where I'm like, well, what do we tell these guys?
Exactly.
Where are they shooting for next?
Yeah, that's the hard part, and you just got to really just go with the flow, man, because I know there's opportunities everywhere. You just got to be in the right position, and just, God willing, is going to set you up nice.
How much have you felt that you've matured as a fighter? I mean, this is going your amateur run. We started off with, wow, they just kind of threw you in there with your wrestling experience, and it's been trial by fire.
Right.
But you've had some time under your belt now.
Yeah, you know what? And it all comes back down to Coach Derek and Coach Gene willing to take the time with me. You know, they see a lot of potential in me, and that all the hard work that I put in to show them, and each fight gets better and better. I can tell you that. Like, I'm learning every fight. There's not something that I'm learning or not doing different in each fight, and like there's been times where I almost submitted a few guys, and there's just little tweaks in my game that I'm gonna get, and I've been working on it, and it's gonna happen.
Coming along. Tell us about your motivation for what you're doing.
My kids and my family, man. All the time that I don't get to spend time with them, that's what's gonna come out. And no disrespect to Cole, but he's gonna have. I hope he's ready to get grinded out, because I'm gonna take him into that deep waters and show him and see if he can hang.
Right, and it's the two daughters, right?
Yeah, my two little girls. Yeah. They push me to all limits. They're if they're not with me at the gym, they're with me at the house doing push-ups with me, hitting their little kickboxing bag and stuff. So like family. That's my main thing, and that's my drive every day.
And then a happy birthday, right? Your eldest, it was just her birthday recently?
Yeah, she just had a birthday, man. She's growing too fast, and time flies, So, like, you got to make the best of the time now, and we had a nice little party at the house, got her big jumper, her friends were over and everything like that. So it was real cool, man.
So you got to relax, and now it's time to put in work, right?
Exactly, yep. Actually, I haven't slowed down. I just keep going, bro, and that's what's going to take me to the next level, and that's where my mindset's already is. I want to get to that next level, and if this is where it's going to take me, then I'm ready. I'm ready to put in all the hard work I can.
Awesome, sir. And that hard work, again, we'll see you back in the cage.
Yes, sir.
November 30th. I'm sure there's people you need to shout out to.
Thank
those sponsors.
Yeah, shout out to all my sponsors, the number one gym, Perez Fighting Systems. We got Cage Minds right here. Thank you, Mika, for supporting me with all your pictures and everything. We got Dennis Leyva with the best water in the game. Shout out to Dennis, always hooking me up for this fight camp. We got the shop making my t-shirts, my fresh tees. If you haven't got any, you can follow me on Facebook, message me, and remember, all my t-shirts and ticket sales are going to get donated to a local charity for Christmas, because we all been had those hard times, so it's good to show some good loving and teach my kids that it's not always about them and it's about giving. So if you guys need any tickets, let me know.
November 30th, December 1st, December 2nd. There's a whole lot of local martial arts coming up. Come on out, see a fight. More interviews coming
One more thing. Sorry, Micah. Shout out to Chew Barbershop. Sorry about that. And, shout out to everybody else. Appreciate you guys.
I'm not trying to undermine him, but he said that while wearing a hat.